My name's Sammy Ray, and you're watching Big Forest Tiny Cabin. Putting up 4 cords of firewood by myself is a big job and takes a lot of time. So, I'm trying something new this year. We built this table and that ramp, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to use them to back the cart up into the shed. Then it'll just be grab and stack. I haven't tested it yet, so I don't know if it'll work. I think it will, but we're gonna find out. So, let's get set up. Well, that's working pretty well. Now if I can just figure out how to get the firewood to unload itself. Yeah, maybe I'll save that for next year. This firewood depot was one of the first things we built after moving here, and all the logs we used came right off the property. It holds 4 cords. It didn't cost a lot, and it's held up real well. But it's a big woodshed, and it's raised off the ground. So to fill it, I had to step in and out with every armload. And it's not just one time. It takes a lot of arm loads to move 4 cords. Jake and I used to fill it together. That way one person could pass the firewood inside to the other. And that worked, but it wasn't very efficient because both of us had to be here. So this year we built that table, kind of like a little porch, to put in front of the depot and the ramp that hooks up to it. It's easy to set up and it breaks down for storage. Now I can fill the woodshed by myself and Jake can be doing something else. We end up getting 2 jobs done that way instead of 1. You might think it's kind of late in the season to be filling the woodshed, but this firewood was cut and split 2 years ago. It's been drying in our lower depot ever since. This spring we were pretty busy, and this isn't a job you want to do in summer. But now that we're in September, temperatures are better and the bugs are going away, so it's a good time to fill it. This is the final stage for our firewood, and it's a great place to finish seasoning. This location gets a lot of sunlight and a good steady breeze, plus it's close to the cabin. It's also the central hub for the trails that head into our property. That trail heads deep into the forest and gives us access to a lot of timber. Right over there is the cabin, and the trail ahead of me heads down toward the river, where the bulk of our firewood is stacked. Usually that firewood will season down there for a year or 2 before it's either sold or brought up here. When we first moved here, it was just a cabin and a small 2-track trail that came in off the gravel road. No one had been working the property, and you couldn't get off the 2-track with the 4-wheeler if you wanted to. We started opening up the land so we could move around, and that's where most of the firewood came from. Nothing goes to waste here, so when trees are cut down to make space for driveways, outbuildings, and trails, we start by picking out logs that can be milled into boards. Any timber that doesn't work for the mill gets bucked up and split for firewood. Anything remaining gets brushed out and burned. This land hadn't been worked for a long time. There's too many trees, and they're too close together. They're all fighting for sunlight, nutrients, and space to grow. By selectively harvesting our trees, not only do we make clearings for ourselves, but we're also helping the forest. Thinning and removing dead trees helps clean up the forest and prevent fires. The remaining trees will then grow faster and fuller. This gives us all the lumber and firewood we need. And because wood is a renewable resource, we'll never run out. Another nice thing about firewood is you get some good exercise, and it helps keep you in shape. Jake probably likes doing the firewood more than I do. He likes to be outside, working in the open air. I'm more of a cabin person. I like cooking the meals and keeping our house cozy and clean. But just like he helps me with the housework, I help him outside. Heating with wood is a time-tested method that people have been using for thousands of years. It's one of the few sources of energy that you can harvest yourself. And because the firewood comes off our land, it costs significantly less than oil, electric, or gas heat. Plus, heating with wood is very reliable, and that means you won't be affected by a power outage, and your home will always stay warm. Throughout the years, everywhere I lived, I've always had to watch where the thermostat was set, because I knew I'd have to pay that utility bill, and it was often a lot of money. We don't really have to think like that anymore. We can keep the cabin as warm as we want because we'll never run out of firewood and we'll never get a bill. The money that we would have spent on propane or fuel oil can be put to better uses, and that's a good thing because we don't have a lot of money. Besides saving us money, we just like wood heat. We love it because it allows us to keep our home at a temperature we want, and we're not limited by what we can afford. The gentle warmth of the wood stove creates this calm, cozy, and welcoming atmosphere. Also, the snap and crackle of the fire is just wonderful to listen to. It's a great feeling in the cabin. We can keep a window open so there's always fresh air with just a hint of wood smoke. In addition to its heating capabilities, the wood stove offers an added benefit of helping create delicious, slow-cooked meals. Simmer soups and stews and roast meat to perfection. It's also a valuable asset for drying wet clothes all winter long. And it's excellent for keeping coffee warm, which sounds pretty good right about now. So I'm going to go grab some and then I'll finish up. Feels really good knowing the firewood's ready. I have a couple projects I want to get started on, and I know Jake's been talking about building a small shed next to the sawmill. Fall's always a busy time of year for us. Lots to get done before winter. But right now, it's time for some coffee. Take care, and we'll see you next time.